Welcome to Business Innovators Radio, featuring industry influencers and trendsetters sharing proven strategies to help you build a better life right now.
Hi, this is Tammy Patzer, and I'm really excited to introduce you to our guest today, Brenda Lainof. Brenda is a certified body code practitioner, and today we're going to be talking about clearing the heart wall. The heart wall is a barrier which the mind forms made up of trapped emotions. So I really think that what Brenda has to share with us today is vital, and we really need to listen. So listen up, take really good notes, and of course, listen with an open mind and an open heart. Welcome, Brenda.
Thank you so much. I'm pleased that you've invited me on your show, so thank you.
I'm really interested in this topic because so often people are blocked and they don't know why. Maybe they feel a little depressed or something. I know for a long time the way I felt was as if I were looking through a plate glass window with my nose pressed up against it, looking out at all these other people having this really good life. And I have a feeling that that had a lot to do with my barrier or my heart wall, as you say it. Can you talk about who you can help and how people, number one, form these heart walls and how they can actually be broken through?
Absolutely. And when we talk about a heart wall, I'm just going to very quickly let everyone know here. My heart actually was broken when I had a cardiac arrest. I had a near-death experience. So when I talk about the heart wall, I really know about the heart. And so that's one of my favorite topics, one of the favorite things I love to do. So when I went through when the doctors brought me back after my near-death experience, my heart had changed forever. It literally had changed. And I have no memory of, people say when they die, they can look down on their body, and I have no memory of that, but my heart had truly had changed forever. I was very, very fearless. So, it's amazing what we go through in life and how it can attack us on an emotional, physical, mental, psychological, at all levels, spiritual levels, where it can actually just change you. So when I talk about a heart wall is what we can put up. We can put up a wall around us to protect us because we've been hurt. And that's what I did. And I didn't recognize it till I was putting pieces together afterwards, because I had a lot of shame and a lot of guilt going on. And it was shame about myself and guilt about myself. And, I can blame other people and blame situations, but it was really me and having to look at me. And now, since I've been doing all this work and all this healing work, it has been so phenomenal how once we break down that barrier, this wall, how we can start opening up and start receiving all the good and the abundance that we really deserve. It's a great, great stepping stone.
So some of the ways that people put up, I guess, their heart walls is it could be loss of a relationship, a divorce, a job, like you said, health issues. I remember when I got a divorce when I was a young woman, I was devastated because my entire life I thought I was going to get married, have children, and be married to the same person forever, and it lasted like 5 years. So I was extremely devastated, and I know that that was a life-changing event, and the barriers started going up, and then I've had experiences with jobs and where people didn't appreciate me, or I felt they didn't appreciate me, or maybe I got fired. So, do you have some recommendations or some steps on, number one, how to recognize that you got your heart wall up, and how do you start recognize it? You mentioned how you did a lot of work, a lot of spiritual work, a lot of recognition of yourself. So if you were to try to explain to somebody, well, how do you recognize it and how do you start to heal?
Okay, so anytime that you're feeling, the shame or guilt, like I had just mentioned, this is all part of the numerous lower vibrational energies that we can carry in our body. So Dr. Bradley Nelson, who I trained under, he coined the word trapped emotions. And we can get trapped emotions around our heart region. And what happens is that normally when an emotion comes through, for example, an emotion of abandonment because you've been abandoned, you're divorced or abandoned by your boss, that emotion, typically, we can process it, but sometimes when it's so intense, when that emotion is so intense, it can get stuck in our body. So what it looks like is that really everything is of energy. And our subconscious is approximately about 90%, 10% on a conscious level. So when emotions come in, and it's been described different ways. So typically about the size of a cantaloupe, the baseball. This energy can come into our body and it can lodge, actually even around the heart, where we have all these heart wall emotions. And unless we clear it out, it can create so many problems, like heartache, having a heart wall emotion of heartache. So again, unless we're able to process it and release it, and there's ways that you can do this, and I teach this within my Skype sessions that I do, and everybody can do this. It's not just meant for a few. Everybody can learn how to find out what is that heart wall emotion and when did it come in and how do I release it, and just notice how much lighter and better that you will feel. It affects everything in your life.
So you actually work with people using Skype. For example, this interview that we're doing right now is we're recording it on video on Skype, and you can see Brenda, but I decided I didn't want to be on the video, but you can actually help people using Skype, and you work through that. So can you just describe maybe what your process is, and maybe what the conversation is that you might start with someone to help them start discovering this?
Well, firstly, we would connect, and what I'd like to do, and I think it's a really good thing to do, is just talk about it for a few minutes before we even start, like, quote, a session. So we get comfortable with one another and just give a free, okay, let's just find out what's happening for you. So then I get a sense of what the issue is. So, for example, somebody emails me and they say, Brenda, I just broke up with this relationship, and I'm really feeling like really, really depressed, and I'm really concerned that this depression is not going away, and I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I don't know. I'm scared. They're just scared. So what I do then is say, okay, let's get together, and I'm going to help you, and I'm going to teach you how to be empowered, because I want you to learn what I'm doing. So I want you to meet up with me, and I'm going to teach you a method and work with your heart wall. So what we're going to be doing is looking at, and actually what it is it's an emotion code chart, and it has all the emotions in it. There's over 50 emotions in this chart, and you're going to learn how to muscle test. muscle testing has been around forever and is done by, hundreds of thousands of people around the world. And we're going to be checking into that subconscious, which is about 90%, and 10% on a conscious level, find out what's going on. So when I mentioned about this energy that comes through, and sometimes we just can't clear it, that is the energy that we're going to be discovering what it is and what's going on. So, for example, I can muscle test and say you do have this trapped emotion of abandonment that we, discovered. I can find out, well, when exactly did it come in for you that's maybe blocking you from having a new relationship or getting that new job. So there's various ways, and because you can see me on Skype, it's great. It's really, we're just connecting and it's not on the phone. It's very personal. So I can muscle test, and I'm going to teach you how to muscle test, find out exactly when to come in. And you may be surprised because this, for example, this heart wall emotion of abandonment, it could have come in anywhere within your lifetime. You may be picking up on somebody else's energy of abandonment. You may even have inherited it because any emotion that we have, we can actually inherit it. Amazingly.
Well,
yes.
I know it's funny that you chose to speak about the topic of abandonment because that actually is one of my issues in life, and I felt that way. My earliest memory of feeling like I was abandoned, I remember 9 years old and I remember telling my mom and my dad, nobody loves me, nobody cares. And can you imagine this little kid telling the parents that nobody loves her, nobody cares, and they're like right there loving you and caring about you, yet you feel as if nobody loves you, nobody cares. And I actually think it goes all the way back to when I was born, because my mother got sick and somebody had to take care of me for the first 6 months of my life. So I actually think that, not knowing if it goes beyond that, but I think it probably started at birth when I felt, obviously, I was taken away from my mother and somebody else took care of me, and I didn't see a lot of my father. So whatever, think about if you're in the womb and you're hearing your mother and father's voices when you're in the womb, and then all of a sudden they're not there anymore. So it's interesting that you say that, and that seems to be my issue, as I've gone through my life. So I'm hearing you talk about that. So it's very interesting that you would choose that as your example today, because I imagine there are many people who, like you said, feel that way, especially because we experience a form of abandonment, I guess, in our entire life. Like you said, if we get a divorce or if we lose our job, it's about somebody either leaving us behind or not taking care of us in a way that we're needing or hoping to be taken care of. So I think that's really, really interesting. And the muscle testing, I read about muscle testing. So can you talk a little bit about how muscle testing works and how it is accurate in letting you know the answers so that you can start working on releasing?
Well, there's various ways of doing this. And again, your body knows exactly what the answer is. So one way that I work with people, and honestly, this works so well, it's one of the easiest things to do, is called the sway test. So when we're on one-to-one, I have you stand up, your feet are shoulder width apart, you close your eyes. And before we do that, it's always getting that connection to God. And I love to call in my angels because, I am just sort of I'm the in-between person here. I'm the vessel. So I'm calling in for their help. And your feet are shoulder width apart, your eyes are closed. Now your arms are down by your side and you're commanding your body. And you say, body, show me a yes. You allow your body to move. And then come back again. Body, show me a no. And allow your body to move. And it come back again. Typically what happens, and it might take a few minutes to get into this, to get clear on it, but your body will go forward for a yes and back for a no. So it's getting your mind clear of, oh, I don't know how this could possibly work. Believe me, it works. And if there is any reason that you feel that you're being blocked for your testing, then I can intuit the information and find out why. So perhaps there's some trauma that is contributing to the fact that you can't muscle test, or you believe that you can't. So I go in with the thousands of people that I've worked on for many years now. I intuit what that information is and then clear it energetically. So when we clear an energy, for example, of abandonment, we work over a governing meridian. So I'll be working for you, for example, and working in between the eyebrow area with a magnet. When I say a magnet, the reason why is that when you have an emotion and it gets trapped in the body, a magnet can help draw out that particular emotion. So it's one of the oldest healing properties in the world. So we work together with a magnet, and if you don't happen to have a magnet, honestly, we use your fingertips, put it together, and release over the governing meridian line in between the eyebrow area, over top the forehead, over top of the crown of the head to the base of the neck, and bring it around the front again. We're working over your acupuncture meridian, your governing meridian, and releasing that energy. And you will notice and you will feel, once that energy releases, it's like, wow. We then go back and test, has that been released? And yes. So we work together. It's not for me just to go ahead and, okay, I'm going to release that abandonment or release that trapped emotion of crying that's held within the heart wall, or release that trapped emotion of conflict within the heart. We do it together. So it's like prayer. It works out really, really well. I've done this in group settings, and we're working together and clearing it out and just noticing how much lighter you feel. So when I work with the heart wall, there's a lot of areas that I can go, because there's so many other things and so many areas that can actually create a heart wall. And it could be that there's a gland or an organ, or perhaps there's something within the skeleton system that's related to the heart wall. Perhaps there's some addictive heart energy that you have that's contributing to this heart wall. I have a lot of areas that I can check on, and it's not that I have to be, the know-it-all. I am intuiting that information from God, just getting that connection, and I then discover what that is. I have you work with me. So we're working together. This is like teamwork. And so you're getting comfortable with your muscle testing, and then I'll ask, has that, heart wall emotion of abandonment, has it now been cleared? Your body goes forward for a yes. I'm confirming with a yes. Then you can feel that. So you're feeling the changes as they occur.
Wow, that is just phenomenal. So I've heard of muscle testing with your arm.
Yes.
I've actually seen that demonstrated, but I haven't ever heard of the muscle testing with your own body, and a forward for yes and a backwards for no. It's kind of like a pendulum,
Exactly.
except it's your own body. And then the idea of the magnet, that's very interesting. And I saw how you demonstrated getting that energy to flow through, and I could see how that would be very self-healing too. And then of course you being able to intuit the information, I imagine that would be really powerful. So I wanted to ask you a little bit about your angel connections. When you get ready to work with someone, do you have a process or a procedure to call in the help of the angels?
Well, I do. I always call in my angels to help me. And, actually the very first thing in the morning, to be honest, what I'm finding is that I need to call them in to help clear out any energies that have maybe come in the nighttime. So it's very important to get clear. So the more that I'm doing my work, the more that I'm doing the healing work, the more that I'm coming into the light. Right now we're going through this world at this moment. We all know that there's a lot of dark stuff that's happening, and there's the light. So the more that I'm shining, the more that I'm putting myself out, like today on this radio show, the more that I'm doing my sessions, the more that the darkness can come in and try to block me. So with my angels, I say, angels, shield up, shield me. And then before I get on with the day, and I have been doing this so much lately, and it works, it is so necessary, I check in if there's any curses that I have picked up throughout the day, throughout the night, that I need to release. Are there any entities that have come in that have been, into my body that I've absorbed? Because they love to go and shut you down. So it's really, really important to get very, very strong first thing in the morning, to shield up and asking the angels, just calling in my Archangel Michael, please shield up, protect me. And then I get into that space of where, okay, my shield is up, now I can ask, is there anything that can be blocking me from even getting the right answer? This is so, so important. I've been working on my children lately. I've been working on clients lately. And I think it's because of the shift that's occurring right now in the world. Again, there's this good and there's the evil, and the evil doesn't want us to win. So the more that we can clear our vessel with the help and guidance from up above, or wherever you feel that they are, let's get their help and get really, really strong. And then we can start working on ourselves. We can start working on our heart wall and finding out, okay, do I have a heart wall emotion? I'm not feeling well, what's going on? And I can teach you how to do that. So you can start working on yourself. You can start working on your children. Start working on your parents. Working on your animals. It's really, really important that we take charge. It's really, really important that we find out, we connect with what is pulling us down, and notice how you're feeling so much lighter because you figured it out. It's like perhaps it was that betrayal that wasn't even something that was yours, but perhaps you've inherited a betrayal, but it's just surfacing now, and it's really creating havoc in your body. So I can teach you how to work with this and start working on yourself to really become truly empowered.
Wow, that is just really phenomenal. So, can you tell me where we can find out more information if we would like to work with you?
Yes, and what you can do is contact me, and what I'm offering for you for this show is a complimentary 20-minute assessment, and we'll go through exactly, start talking about what's going on for you and find out, okay, what are the blocks and how this process can help you. So you can definitely just email me. My email address is lainofbrenda49@gmail.com, and I will spell that out. It's LAINOFBRENDA, the number 4, the number 9 @gmail.com. You can also connect with me on my website, which is called whisperingenergetic.ca. This whisperingenergetic.ca, not com, but .ca because I am in Canada. And I have a lot of content there. I have a lot of radio shows where I have people call in. So once a month, once you opt in my website, I post, okay, call in, and I will help clear you on the spot. So you phone into the phone number, then I intrude what's going on, and we do some clearings. And you can work with me. If you want a muscle test with me, then definitely do that. So you have several options there of finding out how this healing work occurs, and I love to teach. So this is all about supporting one another and collaborating, and it's time to do that now. It's time to take charge. So you're definitely free to give me a call email me at lainofbrenda49@gmail.com.
Well, perfect. And I'll definitely include all of your contact information in the show notes. And I think at some point in the future, this particular show was recorded, but I think I will have a live show, and I'll invite you back so that people can participate in this, so that they can get a sense of how it all works and get a clearing. That would be a really fabulous experience. So I really want to thank you for taking the time to share all your information with us today, Brenda.
Well, you're welcome. And you know what? And the work it's not that it's this heavy work. It's interesting. I consider it very enjoyable and very enlightening when people can really get going on it on their own, and people are just amazed. They're amazed at what they're holding on to, and they're amazed how once that energy is drawn out, how much lighter they feel and what they're attracting in their life.
Well, I think that just my conversation with you today, I think it was meant to be. And I think that I feel better about what we talked about and about abandonment. And everyone, if you like the show, remember, subscribe, and also share with your friends and family and anyone you think could benefit from listening to this great interview. This is Tammy Patzer. Go make it a beautiful day.
Thanks for listening to Business Innovators Radio. To hear all episodes featuring leading industry influencers and trendsetters, visit us online at businessinnovatorsradio.com today.